Welcome to, what's today? Wednesday. Kepler woke me up. I had already had 8 hours, so I was like, let's do it. I went a little further today than I've gone before, but I'm going slower, so it's working out. Glad I brought some water, though. That's nice. So I'm back. I went further than I've went in the last 2 times. I went 11 and a half miles in 74 minutes. And my focus last time and this time was to try and be calmer and go slower to try and keep my heart rate under control. And I'd say that it's working. The first time I went out was rough. I was trying to keep up with Mal, and that was a bad call. And I stayed in zone 5 most of the time. The second time I went out, I did a lot better. And I was in zone 4 most of the time, which is not like perfect, but it's better. And then today, I was in zone 3 most of the time, which is good. My average speed was not that much lower than it was the last time. I think last time it was 9.6, and today it was 9.3 or something. So I'm in the grand scheme of things, I'm not really going that much slower, but how I exert myself is changing, and that's good. So the first time was rough, second time was easier, and today was the easiest by far. And I ended up going an additional 3 miles, because the second time I went eight and a half, and today I went 11 and a half, just because I felt like I could. So yeah, it was fun. This was a good little ride. And also it was cloudy today, so it was cool, which was nice as well. So I'm enjoying this. This is nice. All right, I got to get a shower because today is a dentist appointment. Mal and I actually have dentist appointments at the same time, so can't wait to go and see if everything's good. The dentist went well. The last time I was at the dentist was not fun because we had finally gotten dental care. We hadn't had any dental care since we moved to North Carolina. And when we went, Mal had a pretty normal appointment, but my appointment, they were like, oh, you need a deep cleaning. And I was like, I don't know what that means because I've never had that. No dentist has ever told me that I needed that. And they were like, for the deep cleaning, you have to come in like 1 week to get half of your mouth done. And it's very invasive. And I had to get like 10 needles for numbing. And then you have to come back the next week to get the other half done, which is another 10 needles. And then they're like, you need to come back another 3 months to do that all over again. And you do that every 3 months for like a year. So that was like the first experience. And I came back, after the 3 months, and I did the stuff. I did the deep cleaning back to back. And then they were scheduling my thing for the next 3 months. And I was like, I can't do this. I was like, I really can't. For one, they said insurance would cover it. They didn't. And then also, it was kind of traumatic. I'm someone that has never really had a problem with the dentist, but that was rough, man. That was super, super rough. So I told them instead, and this is, 6 months ago or whatever, I said, just schedule me when my wife is going in for the normal cleaning, and I will do the normal cleaning. It was an interesting conversation at the time, too, because the person at the front desk, fought me over it. And I was like, I'm the one that gets to decide what happens to my body. You don't get to tell me that you need to come in.
All she can do is shame you.
The receptionist, literally fought me. And I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, sir, you really need to come in 3 months. I'm like, I can do whatever I want. Anyway, that's beside the point. So today, Mal and I went in, normal cleaning, and I had a different hygienist today, and the hygienist was looking at my teeth and stuff, and she said, everything looks really good. And I was like, yeah? She's like, yeah. she's like, I see here that you had a deep cleaning last time. She said, everything looks really good. And I was like, okay. They had told me last time that I needed to come in like every 3 months, 2 days every 3 months to have all this stuff done. And she goes, She said, when you were here last, she said, had it been a while since you had been to the dentist? And I was like, yeah, it had been like 2 years. She goes, I think that was it. She said, I think it had just been a while since you've been, and it took, like because it had been a while, you needed the deep cleaning for that. And she's like, now that that's done and you're back on a regular cycle, she said, you should be fine every 6 months. And I was like, I love that. So I had a very normal teeth cleaning today. Didn't have any cavities or anything. Everything was good. Love that, because the deep cleaning thing was awful, and I did not like it at all. So things are back to normal. And you, of course, your teeth are always like good.
Yeah, they were like, there's a spot. They're like, but we don't think it is. We'll just look at it next cleaning and we'll see if it's changed. But we think it's fine.
Yeah.
But we both use electric toothbrushes. Mine broke January.
Yeah.
And I was waiting for them to go on sale at Costco, but they come in a 2-pack. And
Yeah.
I was like, hey, all of friends, anyone want an electric toothbrush? And everyone's like, no, we're good. And then they're not on sale anymore. And then now someone's like, oh, mine broke too.
It's fine. Like, they'll come back on sale at some point. Mine's still good.
Oh, the follow-up to that is I explained to the hygienist, like, oh, I haven't had my electric toothbrush, so, like, how do things look?
Yeah.
And she's like, oh, you don't have that much buildup. Like, things look really good. So.
Good. Very, very good. Yeah, I haven't had a cavity in a long, long time. The last time, when we first went to this place, they were like, we think you have a cavity, come back. And then they came back and they're like, oh, you don't have a cavity, but we're going to fill it anyway. It was my one weird tooth. Has a name. I don't remember what it's called.
Talon cusp.
It's like this, but also this, and it's like one tooth. So I had a different dentist today than I've ever had. And so the dentist comes in at the end to look at the mouth to give a dentist seal of approval. I don't know what dentists do.
They're checking for cavities.
Okay. So anyway, he is looking in my mouth and he gets to that part and he's like, there's a fascinating tooth. And I was like, uh-huh. And he's like, is that 2 teeth? I was like, no, it's 1 tooth. He's like, pull up an x-ray. So the dental hygienist pulls up an x-ray and she's like, yeah, it's 1 root. And he goes, that's 1 root. And I was like, it is my tooth. Like, if I tell you it's
I'm
one
sure
tooth.
I studied it in school, but, like, they're so rare.
Yeah, well, what was funny was, so he looked at it, and he was talking about it, and the dental hygienist knew the names. It was like, oh, it's a...
Talon cusp.
That's not it. That's not what it is. There's a special name for the deformity or whatever. It's not talon cusp. She said something different. I don't know what it is. Anyway, but he was looking at my mouth and he was like, how many times has a dentist gawked at the things inside your mouth? And I was like, man, like too many to count. He's like, yeah. He's like, you just don't see that. You just don't see that. And I was like, oh, yeah. He's like, anyway, everything's really good. You can go. I remember when we went to Colombia. Yeah, I went to the dentist one time in Colombia. Mm-hmm. And that was a whole thing because they called like the entire office into the room to look at my tooth. They were like, whoa, we learned about these in school, but I've never seen one. I got to go get people. And then before I knew it, like 7 different people were in the room like, wow. It's not that fascinating.
Is this the word? Dens?
Yeah, dens.
Yeah.
Dens.
The term talon cusp refers to the same condition.
Dens vagina tus. It's probably not pronounced vagina. It's probably evaginatus. You can't really spin that any good way, can you? Sorry. When I see the opportunity for word comedy, it just I can't stop it.
1 to 6% of the population.
Oh, that's higher than I would expect. Neat. Yeah, it's a weird little tooth. I've shown it on the vlog before. I'm not going to bother doing that again. But when the last time I was there, when they decided they were going to fill it because they're like, it could get a cavity someday. I'm like, hasn't yet, but okay. The tooth feels super different now because it's smooth in the back. Mm-hmm. It's very strange. Anyway, okay. I'm gonna end the vlog. Thank you so much for watching. Let's meet back tomorrow, shall we?